Hello and welcome to how to make a YouTube video and channel. This is a video that I've been wanting to make for a while, and with this second channel I am finally able to do so. It may be a bit long, but I think it is very important. Just so it's stated up front, on my main channel I have a pretty big audience, and this channel hasn't been publicized by myself at all and is relatively new. So basically, don't write off my advice here just because the sub and view numbers can be misleading. Back to the topic at hand. When I started my main channel, I searched for help with it, but came up with spotty information or not even the topic I was looking for. I really decided to make this video after watching some of the big YouTubers make videos on the topic, only to play it off as a joke with no informational content at all. This paired with the fact that so many people have come up to me asking me, how do you make videos? I'll provide links to anything I mention in the description. The purpose of this video is to inform you how to make a video, plan your channel, and where to find resources to do so all in one spot. Many people do not have expendable incomes to put into YouTube, so the secondary purpose is how to make videos cheap, or even in most cases, free. This isn't a joke video, and I employed many of these tools myself for the first year of my YouTube channel, until I could afford better. I still use some of the tools to this day. The first step in making YouTube videos is figuring out what type of content you want to create. Think about your interests and go from there. As a bit of advice, try to be unique, since, for example, the gaming community is a hard genre to break into. Make sure the topic is something that you love and are passionate about. Think of it this way. If you love video games, are you comfortable with constantly making video game videos for pretty much the entirety of your YouTube career? It is fine to step outside your topic box every once in a while, but if after gaining an audience with makeup tutorial videos, you suddenly start making politically driven videos, your audience may be torn. They subscribe to you for makeup, not politics. Okay, now you have your theme. We will move on. While you can really do this at any time, it is best to get your page information set up right away. Choose an interesting icon and work on an intriguing banner. You want your home page to be eye-catching and let people see who you are. As an example, which is more interesting? This? Or using one of my friends' pages, this one? Right, the second one is more interesting, so keep that in mind. I'll get into how to make these items later on. Another thing to consider is how often do you want to post videos. Starting out, it honestly is a bit of a crapshoot. A schedule isn't important right out of the gate, but it will be later on. Starting out, you will post as often as you are comfortable, just to get your content out there. But once you start gaining an audience, it will be time to think of, am I going to post every day, every other day, or once a week? I wouldn't recommend anything less than once a week. Make sure when you make this schedule, keep it. If you post on Wednesdays, always post on Wednesdays. This allows your viewers the knowledge of when to be looking forward to more content from you. As a note, it is okay to change it every once in a while since life happens, just don't make a habit of it. When I started, I made 3 videos a weekend, Friday to Sunday. But my job made me cut it back to every Sunday, and I have stayed there. Randomly I'll post something during the week, but my Sunday video is a constant. Now you have your theme and your page laid out, and it is time to start making content. What you use to make your videos is almost reliant on what your channel theme is. The great thing about YouTube is that you can use what you already have and still make something as relevant and engaging as some of the YouTubers out there who spend big money to do it. I'm going to assume that you have a computer, so that is a big part out of the way, although I have heard of YouTubers who make their videos on cell phones. Here is where my advice branches into 2 directions, which, again, is controlled by what you make. If you make video game content, one of the biggest hurdles you will face is finding recording software and video games to play. For the games, you can use whatever you already own, or a system I personally use is Steam. It is free, and many of the games they have for sale are super cheap. You probably have heard people complaining about Steam sales, and it isn't because they suck. It is because you can go broke on them. I have over 170 games in my library, and I might have spent a total of $90 on them. I'll also mention that EA, or Electronic Arts, has a Steam-like program called Origin, and they are somewhat similar, as an apple is similar to an orange as they're both fruit. The positive side to Origin is every month they give a free game out in what they call the On the House program. With that out of the way, now you need to record your gameplay to show off to the world. I should mention that I frequently use the program I'm about to talk about, even in non-video game related content, so in other words, it is very useful. Most video recording software you find is expensive, can cause frame rate drops, limited recording times, or even worse, has an ugly watermark they put on every recording until you pay for the program. I recently came across a program that entails none of those things and is absolutely free, as of making this video. The program is called Overwolf, and it has many fantastic features where recently you can even add movie themed announcers to your videos, but as a screen recording software, it is great. If you don't make video game content, I still recommend the program since moving content in videos is better than static images. If you make informative content like I normally do, then Google will be your friend. Think of the topic of your video and find images that relate to that topic. It is best to make a separate YouTube folder on your computer that you can put all those images in for easy access. Animated GIFs, or sometimes pronounced GIFs, are interesting to add to any video, but they can be hard to find that relate to your topic. I don't make videos showing my face, but if you want to do so, many laptops have built-in webcams, or your PC might have one. If you don't have either, then you could simply use your cell phone to record yourself. If you don't have that, then you will need to buy a camera, but anymore they are fairly cheap. Just a quick search and I found one ranging from $1 to $5, and of course way more expensive ones than that. Granted, the quality may not be the best, but still it is an option, and sometimes you can find the cheap ones work fairly well. If you don't use a camera, then you may need a device to record your voice. I made some of my earliest videos using only text on the screen, and while some channels such as Dark5 can get away with it, I received the most hateful comments for doing it myself. Again, use what you have. I started with a gaming headset I already owned, but if you don't have that, then you can use your cell phone. As usual, if you don't have that either, I give the free option first, then you will have to buy a mic. A quick search and I can see you can buy a gaming headset for $2.50 up to whatever you feel like paying. If you doubt me on a $2.50 headset, here is a picture of proof. At a later date, you will want to upgrade all of these devices, but only when you can afford to do so. I will mention here that some of the cheaper microphones may develop some irritating extra sounds and buzzes in your audio, which makes videos hard to listen to. A free program that is good at removing those extra noises is Audacity. I never fully used all of its features before upgrading to a better microphone, but it has way more features than I can even explain, and all free of charge. Now on to one of the biggest dilemmas when making videos. You have your images, voice recordings, or gameplay videos, but where do I put it all together? Here's where finding the software seems a bit daunting. For Mac users or Linux users, I'm not sure your options here, but for PC Windows users, a great starting program that is easy to use is Moviemaker. Most PCs already have this installed, and if not, you can download it from Microsoft for free, and I can confirm it does work with Windows 10. While the program is fairly basic and you won't find many of the flashier options, you can still make a decent video with it. Honestly, for being free, it offers quite a bit, a fact that many review sites fail to give it credit for. In fact, a pretty big YouTuber named Grade A Under A, love him or hate him, recently mentioned that he uses Moviemaker and he has over 1 million subscribers. I used the program constantly until I finally bought the program Wondershare for only $30. It is pretty similar to ease of use as Moviemaker, but it has more options to make a better product rather than paying $600 for Sony Vegas Pro. Okay, something that every channel should have but everyone wants to know about is intros to your videos. These are movies that play before your video that is specific to your channel. Think of it as almost the intro screen to your favorite TV show. Many sites offer this service but require payment to make one. That is something you will have to look at for yourself. But one of the best I have found is called Flixpress, and they have many paid versions and a handful of free ones. They do request you add their licensing agreement to your video description box. However, there are a few sites that don't require that. Here's a tip when it comes to your intros and final video. Make sure the file is saved as an MP4. So far, it has always worked for me without a hitch. To make your videos more interesting, maybe you want to add music to them, but are afraid of copyright claims on your content. YouTube does have its own catalog, but I've heard people getting claims on their videos even when using this. The site Incomptech has a huge library of royalty-free songs that you can use and even find what you're looking for just by mood. The songs are free to use, but you should add credits to the author at the end of your video. My biggest complaint about Moviemaker was how limited the font was when writing titles in my videos. I have you covered there as well. The site 1001 Free Fonts has so many different types of fonts to choose from that are all free and easy and safe to download that you will never use regular text again. All these options aren't needed, but they do make a more interesting product. One of the last things I want to talk about, and is very important to your video and channel, is thumbnails. A thumbnail is a little picture that represents what your video is, and more often than not determines if someone wants to click on your content. Honestly, this is one of my favorite parts about making videos, since it lets my artistic juices flow. Here is another stumbling block, since the biggest name in town for photo editors is Adobe Photoshop, but who wants to pay anywhere from $130 to $800 just to edit a photo? Not me, at least. Your best option, and one that I use all the time, is Sumopaint. The program is free to use online without any downloading required and works quite well. It is true Photoshop does have a ton of features, but Sumopaint is great for thumbnail use. As a side note, you can buy and download Sumopaint, but the free version is just as good. Keep in mind when choosing images that it is best to find a background image first, and then anything you want to add to that image is a PNG file. Not to get technical, but a PNG file allows you to take an image directly without having to erase anything in the background. Here is a recent thumbnail I made where everything other than the hallway background was added using PNG files. Here is one of my last tricks. Thumbnails for YouTube are size 1280 by 720 in order to fit right on the site, but not all images are that size. So what do? Go to online-convert.com, and that site is amazing and easy to use. It is free to use, and it can convert images to different sizes or even different file types. The site can also convert just about any file to whatever file type you want. With Moviemaker, animated GIFs or GIFs files do not work automatically, but with Online Convert, you can change the GIF file to an MP4 file very easily. The last step is to have fun and be realistic. Chances are good that you probably won't be an overnight success, but don't let that stop you. If you belong to any social media, put your stuff out there. The more the better. If you don't belong to social media, then ask a family member or friend who does belong if they will share your stuff with their followers. Enjoy the little moments. At first, you may get discouraged by your subs or view number being low, but don't give up. Remember, you are making videos about a topic you love. Celebrate your first sub, celebrate your next 10 subs, and so on. Enjoy and revel in the achievements, no matter how small some may think they are. Don't let people outside of YouTube get you down by making a joke of your YouTube career. This is one of your passions. Like some people enjoy watching sports, you enjoy making videos. There is nothing to be ashamed about that at all. Not to mention, it is possible, albeit slim, that you can make hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars just off of making the videos you love. But don't do it for that. My final tip is, don't neglect your audience. You will find YouTube to be a very opinionated, if not somewhat harsh place. Respond to your faithful viewers and ignore the hate. You will find that no matter what you make, someone out there will have a problem with it. Just don't focus on them. I hope that helped all of you, and if you have any further questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below. With that, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.